In the storm of war, food can be as deadly as guns. Stories say that some merchants sold food to Nazi Germany for profit. These tales claim that Allied soldiers were hungry while this trade continued. They allege that certain industrialists found ways to ship food to the enemy. These claims are shocking and deeply troubling. They suggest a betrayal of the highest order. Such serious accusations must be checked with careful study and solid evidence. This essay will examine the claims and the historical record. It will look at the evidence for and against these dramatic stories. The core of the claim is simple. While nations were at war, some companies put profit before patriotism. This narrative paints a picture of a secret world of commerce that operated in the shadows of global conflict. The first part of the story involves a Black Market Syndicate. A group of powerful food companies and traders intentionally broke wartime blockades, so the claim goes. Food companies, traders. They are said to have established secret channels to supply Nazi Germany, not accidents nor isolated incidents. A coordinated effort to continue business with the enemy. Global reach and logistical expertise moved goods across hostile borders for profit. The narrative names Patriot industrialists, ironically, as its ringleaders. Public patriotism, private treason. Influence used to bypass legal and moral boundaries. War seen as disruption to markets, yet opportunity to protect share and revenue regardless of human cost. Another shocking part of the narrative is the Adulterated Flour Scandal. The betrayal, it asserts, was twofold: selling food to the enemy and cheating their own side. To maximize profit, some suppliers allegedly tampered with Allied rations, flour, mixed with cheap, harmful fillers, sawdust, chalk, and other non-food substances, stretching supplies, selling the good flour on the black market. The accusation is visceral: soldiers given food less nutritious and potentially dangerous. Health and morale at risk. A soldier expects support from his country. Substandard or toxic food for profit is a potent image of corruption. But like all such claims, it needs strong proof. The claims of secret trade depend on a believable method of transport, logistics of betrayal. How goods could move from the Americas to Germany despite the Allied blockade. The alleged key: neutral ports. Spain, Portugal, Sweden, Switzerland. These hubs, it's said, laundered goods. New paperwork, new destination. Bills of lading listing Hamburg or Bremen appear. Neutral flags add cover from search and seizure. Patrols hesitate. Diplomatic risk. A loophole for determined smugglers. Networks of freight forwarders, agents, bankers, customs would leave a paper trail. But moving enough food to matter would require massive, continuous operations. Hard to hide. The final piece claims definitive proof exists. The forensic accounting of 1944. Ledgers, invoices, manifests. Forensic accounting follows goods and money from factory floor to end user. In this story, all paths lead from America to the German war machine. A smoking gun would turn allegations into fact. Shell company orders from neutral countries. Payments routed through Swiss banks to mask origins. Insurance, customs, pieces of a hidden chain. The claim says these files exist in archives, awaiting exposure. Hints appear, but comprehensive, undisputed proof for a vast food trade is absent from mainstream scholarship. Extraordinary claims require the documents themselves, named, sourced, and shown. Archives paint a different picture. By mid-1941, German decrees blocked foreign control of assets. A Reichskommissar and trustees administered American-owned firms in Germany. Operational decisions were made in Germany, not New York or Chicago. These firms were integrated into the Nazi war economy. American owners lost control during the war and often regained it only after 1945. Continuing operations do not prove active American collaboration. They prove seizure and repurposing. This mechanism makes a secret, corporate-led food pipeline far less likely. Pre-war business with Germany existed and deserves scrutiny. But post-1941, the state commandeered control. The story is less clandestine American treason, more totalitarian expropriation. Context matters. State control changes the narrative. To understand how Germany fed itself, look to its own policies. The historical record is clear. The primary food source was the brutal plunder of occupied territories, the Hunger Plan, food seized from conquered lands, particularly the Soviet Union. To feed German soldiers and civilians, planners accepted mass starvation in the East as policy, grain, livestock, and more expropriated at scale. Shipments kept German calories relatively high until late war. Civilians averaged roughly 2,500 calories per day, sustained by others' hunger. Exploitation extended to France, the Netherlands, Denmark. Forced exports to Germany. State-organized theft dwarfed any clandestine market. This was the central pillar of Germany's food supply. Who fed the Nazis? The Nazi regime, through violent expropriation from conquered peoples. Further evidence against the black market theory comes from the Allied blockade. No blockade is perfect, but it was a powerful weapon. Large-scale, continuous bulk food shipping was extremely difficult and risky. Some smuggling occurred, yet not at a scale to sustain a major industrial nation. Forensic work needs documents, many across jurisdictions. Recent research details German firms' complicity and forced labor based on extensive archives in Germany, but comparable evidence of U.S. food giants running the blockade has not emerged. If a massive network existed, traces would appear in customs, banks, and insurance records. The absence of robust, verifiable records is significant. Isolated illicit trade is likely. Multinational coordination is another matter. The so-called forensic accounting of 1944 reads more like a narrative device than a known, citable dossier. In conclusion, the story of a black market that fed the Nazis is a mix of plausibility and unsubstantiated claims. The accusation that American companies secretly supplied food to the enemy is grave. It's a powerful narrative of secret syndicates, adulterated rations, and a hidden paper trail. But weighed against the record, core claims are weakly supported. What is proven? The Nazi hunger plan, systematic plunder as the primary food source. Also proven, after U.S. entry, German state control, not American executives, ran the assets. What is likely? Isolated smuggling and opportunism. Possible? Isolated food adulteration, as in many eras. What lacks support? A massive, coordinated U.S. food giant syndicate feeding the Reich. The evidence points to German plunder, not American trade, as the answer to how the Third Reich was fed.